And we're back with more I Divine Cybermancy. We are now in the Forgotten Center mission, and we're going to talk to our contact here. He tells us that we're right outside the Looter's HQ, and we ask him for more details. He says he's created a fake ID and a fake past, and they think that I've been disgraced, and that he has a double agent vouching for us. And we gain some XP for that. So if you skip the last Temple HQ part, we bought this new submachine gun we're using called the Motra. It's silenced, and it's pretty good anti-personnel-wise. Let's go talk to this guy. So, we guard the entrance with him. I said, okay, let's go waste some time. So we're just going to stand here for a little while. We also bought the GCTG-222 revolver, which we also are carrying on us at this point in time. And we bought eye vision and the targeting system abilities, which we will use eye vision on this mission. So this guy says, hey, you interested in making a good pile of money? And he says that there's a briefcase full of drugs that we should go find. And I said, yeah, sure, why not? So if you haven't figured it out by now, our character's actually kind of an immoral jackass. Not really much we can do about that, and in fact his jackassery has not even reached its heights yet. You'll see that later. So, it appears there's some Metastromonic Force guys here. And it appears I can't aim for crap. Yeah, this loadout's actually not very good for this mission, all things considered. And there's the short-range Psy Blast that just sort of liquefied his body. I'm going to use that quite a bit. A smarter loadout for this mission is actually to take a shotgun of some sort. Hopefully the Depresador, but if you have the skills for it, the Claw Hammer also works very well. Metastromonic Force guys do get mashed up pretty good by shotguns, so... But, you know, I wanted to show off the submachine gun, so I guess I'm going to use that. And there is glass in the way here, I just completely forgot about it. Yep. Pay no attention to those guys having some kind of retard party over there. This is what I was talking about in the Temple HQ part, where the Motra is not that good against certain Metastromonic Force guys. The Manducos, the Perigiums, and a couple other ones have very good bullet resistance, unless something's armor-piercing, which I'm pretty sure the Motra isn't. So, they can take quite a few shots from it. And now here is where the jackassery starts to reach a bit of a peak. So we talked to this guy, Toby, and he seems like he needs someone to talk to. And he tells us that he's very depressed, he doesn't feel happy with his life at all, he's ashamed of what he's done, and that he does a lot of drugs, he's addicted to them, and his life is very difficult. And we sort of get on his good side, and we tell him, you have to change your life. And he says, I don't know what to do, man. And we say, well, you know, I'd kill myself if I were you. And the asshole didn't even have the decency to drop an ammo type that we're using. Wait for it. Ah! So, oh, I dismembered him a bit. So that is a Perigium Forma. I can't remember exactly what they're symbolic of, but they're quite fast, they like to leap, but they don't actually have all that good of resistance to melee attacks or, well, anything that can fire full auto accurately. So they're pretty difficult in large groups, but on their own, they're not really all that much of a threat. You see, armor-piercing rounds, like the ones out of this revolver, tend to be a little bit more effective against Mandicos, because they do have some form of armor on them. So we're gonna go talk to this guy, Gunther. The boss said that there was a legion of monsters detected, and that we had to report over to him immediately. So I'm guessing this is probably a big deal. Oh, look at that. Look at that objective right there. That wasn't there before. That's rather interesting. So, that was our side mission. Just like with the Cyberbrain, there are certain objectives that don't actually show up until you're close to them. Or sometimes have direct line of sight on them. Oh, another guy has something to say. Isn't that fun? Matumba. Matumba tells us that we're going to be rich. Wealthier than the boss. And that his friend knew where a treasure was, but he fell into a trap for perigrums. Or for perigrums. I say perigrums. And he told us where the famous treasure of Jack Van Hazer is, and it's at a place called the And we say, huh, where's that? And he says, well, will you help me? I say, of course. You can also say, isn't that the sound your friend made while he was dying? And he said, no, it's definitely a place. Trust me, I know my shit, don't worry. So this guy is working on this terminal to keep the monsters out. The door is old, and it's going to take him a little bit of time to close it. The air outside is radioactive, toxic, generally just not very good, so we have to stay inside. And we're basically gonna have to defend this point from an onslaught of monsters for quite a while. I think some polyclones are in order. And when I say an onslaught of monsters, I do mean there are going to be a hell of a lot of them. Luckily, that turret seems to be actually doing its job for once. Most times I do this, we failed this part by this stage in it. That's usually because I make the mistake of standing near the guy I'm supposed to be protecting. You know, like I'm doing right now. And, well, shit, the turret got knocked over, but yeah, this isn't going very well. I don't think we're going to be able to hold this position for the full 3 minutes. And, yeah, the Mandicos are actually pretty smart. They do go for the turrets and knock them down. They try to prioritize them over even the players sometimes. Oh, well, that was nice. Oh, hey, it's a werewolf. Yeah, werewolves are known as carnophages. Shut up, boss, I'm trying to explain things. Werewolves are known as carnophages in this game. They're werewolves. They're one of the bigger, meaner Metastramonic force. So, considering that we're pretty much completely out of energy, I'm just gonna chill out back here for a little while. also running a little bit short on ammo. And somehow I didn't make that cyber jump. And I don't have the psi skill to be able to lift these objects. The higher psi skill you have, the heavier objects you can actually lift. If you have, say, like 80 psi skill, there's very large physics objects that you can just pick up and whip at people. Which is, again, one of the other advantages to taking psi. It can be useful, it's just, I prefer cyber. So. This is also one of these missions where stealth is very difficult because of the metastromonic force. Though, luckily, this game is more skill-based than skills-based. So, if you're building a stealth character, you can just grab a shotgun or, you know... Oh, look, we're going insane a little bit. So I'm just gonna use maintenance to get rid of that. God, everyone interrupting me all the time. If your mental balance is low, or you're fighting metastromonic force guys too much, or you get too close to them, you run the risk of... Yes, boss, okay. Shut up. Yeah, there are federals in here now, and they're not very nice. So if your mental balance is low, you actually run the risk of going insane if you are near metastromonic force guys, or if you shoot your own guys. Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to describe things in this game. Yeah, we're actually good at getting scissored in here. It's not very good. And I'm trying to conserve ammo, but I'm... Yeah. Okay, so this time we didn't get a fatal wound, at least. Maybe after this I'll be able to explain what the hell I was trying to explain. No, my Motra clip, you assholes. Oh, how are those cloaks working out for you, bros? Oh wait, they aren't. Now, what the hell was I talking about? I was talking about something. You see, that's what I get for trying to conserve ammo. I lose my train of thought, and I get killed. If I had just not tried to conserve ammo. Oh, that was one of the metastromonic force guys I was talking about in the temple. That is actually metastromonic force. And in fact, you find out where exactly that comes from later. I think it's 2 missions from now. And now, you know that thing when you're going down like a hallway and like 2 people are trying to get out of each other's ways at like the same time. You know that thing. That's what's actually happening right now. They're all. There we go. Now we can get past. So yes, and we did just poison their water supply with toxic waste. Immoral jackass, I told you. We're just kind of not a very nice guy. I mean, we told somebody to commit suicide, we're poisoning people, we're generally being a dick to everybody. I'm just sort of searching around in here. This level's very big, and it's practically a maze. It's very easy to get lost. What you have to remember is, most areas do have multiple ways you can get to them from. That was... whoa, frame rate issue. Yikes. Yeah, that was one of the frame rate issues I mentioned in New Eden. Fraps is being a little bit iffy sometimes. And naturally, none of the things on the ground for ammo are for an ammo type we're using. Because all of those looters are getting murdered by Metastromonic guys. So they're just dropping their own ammo instead of our ammo. Because the ammo drop system works, well, I'm not entirely like 100% sure how, but from what I can gather, what you kill an enemy with usually determines what they drop. When you kill an enemy with a gun, it's a higher chance that they'll drop ammo for that gun instead of their own ammo. But if they just get killed, they'll drop their own ammo. Yeah, so we might as well just deactivate this generator. The boss says, "Yay, we're gonna go back and torture the survivors, get the genital electrodes ready." I'm glad that we're not the only immoral jackass. Although I suppose he's more of a sadist. Does that make him immoral? No, that's actually very interesting. I should think about that later. So now that we've started to gain the trust of the boss, we're being sent to go meet the double agent. The one who vouched for us and actually got us into this in the first place. Failed attack. Well, that didn't seem like a failed attack to me. I really should have just pulled my sword here, but really do like that side blasting technique thing. I suppose I'll call the perigrums then, if I remember. The perigrums also come in two different colors, I think. They've got one that's sort of like a silvery color all over them, and one that's got a white stripe on the top. I don't think that's any rank difference, it's just a minor variation. So, here's our double agent. Another Jean. And he says, "Well, you're a bit slow. I found the place where they hide their files. Just get inside that room over there. We're good." And then he cloaks, and... bro, I can still see... Alright, you're still there. You've got a big yellow... Okay, sure. I don't think we want to ruin his, his fun. If he wants to think he's invisible, we should just let him. I knew that someone was going to be coming around that corner, damn it. See, there was one of the ones with a silvery top, whereas earlier there was one with a white top on it. There's a white top one. I think it's just a minor color variation, like how sometimes the Mandicos are red or blue. We should probably cure this insanity. It's not one of the fun ones. There are some very fun insanities. There's ones that make you hear voices, there's ones that make you see explosions, so those are all very fun. So that was actually our character's voice there. He doesn't talk very often, but I think he actually has a different voice actor from most of the other people in the game. He doesn't really sound like any of them. Oh, there we go. We are seeing explosions, and the boss is rambling on about all of his men being sick or dead, probably because we threw a toxic waste barrel into the thing, but... God, guys, could you just stop yelling and give me some goddamn ammo for once. Well, so the boss just told us to go over and check the reservoir. Now, we already know what's wrong with the reservoir because we threw the friggin' toxic waste barrel in there. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that when you throw a green glowing barrel into something, it's probably not that good for it. And now the boss says, give me a report and be promoted to full member status. And we get high-voiced, heavy, armored eye member saying to kill them all. I was just gonna kill them all anyway, but I guess since that's my objective, I should probably do it. Every time, man. Every goddamn time. And there's no ammo anywhere. Luckily, we're close to where we started the mission, so we're going to be able to swap out our loadout. Which is, in fact, what we're going to do, because, well, I've shown off the Motra enough for this mission. I'll use it next mission as well. So the guy who asked us to go get those drugs also has another mission. And I have to be a dick to him. And he just basically tells us, hey, there's this thing. Go kill it. Okay. It's a high-ranked metastromonic creature. So we could go in there, or we could swap out our loadout. I would say swapping the loadout is probably better. So I'm going to keep the little revolver because it is pretty good, but I'm also going to take the Depressor. Because, I mean, who doesn't like a semi-automatic shotgun with a 32-round clip? And I was gonna use the med kit, but I forgot that I haven't actually unlocked it on this character. Damn character corruption, I swear. So, we're gonna hack the defense system just so that none of these turrets attack us once we start murdering everyone, and in fact, they should attack the other guys once we start murdering everyone. And hack successful. Oh! Wow. I got a couple guys. So, let's just get out of here. It's probably for the best. You know, the whole killing their boss and everything. I was gonna attempt to jump this, but, you know, I'd rather not accidentally kill myself near the end of the mission. That would be funny on my end, I would laugh at it, but it would mean that I'd have to record the whole thing over, which... And that's why we use shotguns. High damage, multi-hit. They don't have to be super accurate. Metastromonic guys are mostly melee. So. Frame rate. Perhaps we should call this lag divine system requirements. No. It's just fraps. I run this at 1920 by 1080, full screened, normally. I just have it down to 720p for YouTube, so I can get a good frame rate while recording. Oh, is that the thing? Oh, it's in there somewhere. I can't sprint, but I don't care. I guess you can even sneak up on Metastromonic Force. Oh, hey, looter. Hey, other looter. Hey, third looter. Hey, fourth looter. Man, you guys just don't understand the basics of trying to fight somebody with way more armor than you. Guys, you're supposed to sneak up behind with a sniper rifle. So we picked up another research. Probably going to do that in Temple HQ. While I'm messing around buying things and stuff like that. So we're at the end of the Forgotten Center mission. We just hit this exit and we're gone. Next part, we're going to be in the Temple HQ again, possibly researching things, unlocking things, standard stuff.